Lordy me, I love that opening music. You know, that is a song that came from this. It's called The Mountain Life. And guess who wrote it? Y'all know who wrote it. Mr. Ellijay wrote it. Mr. Ellijay wrote that song. And it is just a happy, perfect, and that opening with the fall leaves is perfect. And to that I added a little bit of fall color today. This is a Bob Mackie vintage top, which I think is so funny because I got up this morning and I thought, okay guys, I wore orange yesterday. I'm not much of an orange person. It makes me look like a pumpkin. So I thought, I gotta get something with some fall color. And I went in and I found this vintage Bob Mackie just hanging there waiting on me to wear it. And I think it kind of brightened my day because have y'all noticed it's a little dreary outside? We needed the rain. We've had about 2.5 inches in ball ground, and everything's still standing, everything's still working. And to the water department, Cherokee County Water Department had to work yesterday. I think they worked about a 16-hour shift because they were out there morning, noon, and night, late night. But they got the road put back together. Everything's cleaned up this morning, and it was amazing. I'm spoiled. Now, if the power goes out, I'm okay. Because you have candles and you have those little light bulbs that stay lit. You have these things that you even have a kerosene lantern. I can get through the power being off for 4 to 6 hours. But when you cut the water off, I just go crazy because all of a sudden you want to brush your teeth. All of a sudden you want to wash and peel potatoes and you can't because you have no water. All of a sudden you want to do something that requires scrubbing and sudsing and wash. All of a sudden you want to mop the floor. All of a sudden, water, to me, Georgia Power, you can cut it off for a little while and work on it, and I'm okay. But when you cut the water off, so to the water department, Cherokee County, Ball Ground, everybody was out there working hand in hand. Thank you, thank you, thank you for getting all that mess cleaned up. And then next week, on the 29th, September the 29th, there will be water outage in certain areas. So you'll see signs up, you will hear about it, but it's going to be Monday the 29th, and that is, I think they said it's about a 6-hour period again, so we'll see what happens. But thank you to the water department because I can make it in the dark. I can make it without the TV for a little while. We've all got our iPhones. Make sure you keep your phones charged. You can watch TV on your iPhone now. So the electricity is not a big deal, but I swear, the minute they turn the water off, I go to the faucet and want to wash my hands, or I go in there and say, oh, I need to brush my teeth, or da-da-da-da-da. Water is essential. Today, we have plenty of water. It has been falling a flood. Has your granny ever said that? It's fallen a flood. I actually pulled over at Whitestone and waited on it to slack up a little bit because I couldn't see to drive, and I hate driving in this. So we're going to bring you a little happiness in just a few minutes, but I want to remind you, we have a guest coming out in just a minute. Y'all love him, you know him, and you'll be excited. He's such a good guy. October the 10th through the 18th, please don't forget this. But remember, this weekend, like starting today, the Daily and Vincent series concert, it's like a 3-day event, is in Hiawassee. I think there are still some tickets available. Pick up the phone and call the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds and let me see if their phone number's on here. Yes, it is 706-896-4191 and say, hey, have you got any tickets to the Daily and Vincent gig? Because it's going to be a big to-do all weekend long. Now, our friend Eli Phillips got to do the big to-do yesterday. He got to take Daly and Vincent out on my lake, Lake Chateau. My lake, I love that lake. He spent some time with them out on one of the pontoons like we did on Sunday, and we filmed some really cool stuff, and you're going to get to see a little bit, because I think we need to brighten up your day today. So you're going to get to see a little bit of that in a minute. But I want to say congratulations to a very, very special young man. His name is Will Cagle. He was just elected, and he is going to be one of our really, really hard-working guys in Cherokee County, helping to make Cherokee County a better place to live. He lives on a family farm in Cherokee County and he's a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. He's a retired Marine, but he is always a Marine. And his strategy makes sense. And he won. So thankful. If you voted for him, I appreciate your vote for him. Service above self. That says it all. Service above self. So congratulations, Will Cagle. I can't wait to see what you're going to do to make our lives better. And, you know, we all talk about this. There's something going on in Cherokee County, and I want to ask y'all to help me because I've been trying to get something done and I'm getting nowhere. There's a new thing that went into place last year, and so we were super busy selling homes to older people because the tax break went away for newcomers. So to understand that, you have to be over a certain age. I think 62, you have to be over that age to get the school tax break. Well, we all live to get old enough to get the school tax break because by then your kids are out of school, you're not paying for your kids to go to school anymore. You want that tax break. Well, Pickens County offers a little bit of it, and Dawson County offers some, and different people offer different levels of that tax break. Cherokee County did away. You have to be there 5 years to qualify. So if I sell a house today to somebody who's moving in, say they're leaving Big Canoe because they're tired of they're older, they don't want to do the long roads, they don't like the winding roads, they want to be closer to a hospital, and they come and see us and they want to buy a house. Well, they look at the tax structure and they back out because they're afraid that in the last years of their life, not getting that school tax break will really put a burden on them. I don't know who dreamed this thing up, but it's a 5-year waiting period. So if you will call your congressman, call your legislators, call the tax office, get the information. I have the information. You can call me and I'll give it to you. But if you want to move to Cherokee County and you're over the age limit that you get the school tax break, you have to wait 5 years now. Now, it was voted in, but people did not read the underlying paperwork. They didn't read everything. And so I'm hoping that we could, I don't know if they can reverse it. They said it has to be voted for again, but I think a 2-year penalty, if you come in for 2 years, you know, establish yourself as a Cherokee County resident, and then after 2 years get the break, that seems reasonable. But 5 years? And when I was showing property to somebody in their 80s, and they looked at me and said, wow, that's a lot of money we would have to give up the last few years of our life. It is. So think before you vote. That was voted in. People voted it in because on this side of the bill was something good. On this side of the bill was something not so good. And we all want to grow. We want to grow in a good way because if you don't grow, you die. That's what happens. That's what happens to communities. You have to grow. You have to do it safely, securely. You have to pay attention to what you're doing. This put a halt on older people coming into the area. And so a lot of them are ready to move closer to their children. They're ready to come and settle in. They like the idea that you can walk to the park, you can walk to downtown. They love playing pickleball. Old people play pickleball and they love it. So it's been a burden, and I hear about it daily. I hear somebody come in and say, well, we really wanted to come here, but we're leaving Pickens County, and we would lose this tax break. It's tough. It is tough, and the Pickens County break is a small one, but it is one. You know, there is a break. So what can we do? Well, we get together, and we get together like we did when we elected Will Cagle, and thank goodness he had never run for anything. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. He's a dad, he's a farmer, he's a businessman, and he takes care of his elderly father. He helps him. So before you vote, think and read the fine print. You know, just figure it out, and then you decide how you want to vote. But thank you to everybody who came out and voted. It was a very low turnout, but it was a smart turnout. I believe it was about 70% to about 30% conservative versus the other side. So it worked, and thank you to everybody. Again, don't forget the carnival, October the 10th through the 18th. Things to do, craft vendors, the Pioneer Village. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you have not gone all through the fairgrounds, do everything. They have live entertainment there, they have food, they have pottery, they have a sawmill, they have all kinds of things that you can go back to our past. Don't you wish some days we could go back to our past when a jar of mayonnaise was 89 cents? Have y'all been to the grocery store lately? Lord have mercy. Well, today, my guest is going to join me in just a minute, but we're going to talk the mountains, the music, and what we do here at ETC to get you on TV. Because a lot of y'all have been on television with us, from your kids being in the band to your football playing sons. And as we have watched Will Kiker's career, are you kidding me? This kid is so amazing. As we watched the McVeigh family, as we salute and support their young son, it is amazing what ETC provides for your community. And we're going to talk about that when we come back in just a few minutes. We're going to take a commercial break, and then I'm going to share a very special little blippet of the lake, because it was sunny, it was pretty, and there was a cool song playing. So we'll do that, and then my guest and I will talk about the things that happen here at ETC that come back to show off a little bit of what you're doing. We'll be back shortly.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Okay, guess who my guest is today? Do y'all recognize him? He looks different today.
I keep losing article of clothing as I come on here.
He looks different today. He doesn't have on a hat and he doesn't have on glasses. Do y'all know who this is? His name is Trace Parks. And he produces, directs, and controls all the craziness in my life, because I come in the door and some days we have it planned and other days it's fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
That's what makes live TV fun.
Yep.
Absolutely. It is so spontaneous. I've never used a script. I've never used a teleprompter. It's about what's happening today, the moment, the time. On my way in, I messaged Trace and said, hey, I'm sitting on the side of the road. It's falling a flood. I don't want to drive in this. And he said, that's okay. I can run a little music till you get there. Mm-hmm. Well, I got here on time because the rain slacked up a little bit. So thank you, Lord, for letting the rain slack up a little bit. When you first started doing this, you were kind of behind the scenes, little football game, little of this, little of that. Tell us what your average day, when somebody starts at ETC, where do y'all start out?
When I started in 2022, my very first day was here on the show, and I think I did the audio for the show for the first time. I can't really remember, but I did that, and then I remember one of the first things that I did was we went and filmed some political stuff in at Chateau Maitre. And that was my first day here, but that was also when I had another job at the time too, so I wasn't
I remember,
I wasn't here all the time like I am now. But yeah, my first live production was a copper basing graduation, and I didn't start doing the games until the football season of that year. And yeah, for Cherie stuff, I kind of just got thrown into the director spot because of Donovan.
And boy, do we miss that kid.
Yeah.
Every single day, I think about that last day he and Wyatt were here over there on the piano.
Yeah.
And we happened to have those moments.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to have those moments. And truly, you weren't ready to step into this spot, but Donovan had taught you enough. That you did it.
Yeah, I did it for about a month before he took off for a month because he was dealing with some stuff, and and that kind of really helped me figure out what I was doing. But Donovan really was one of my best friends in this, because I knew as much as I could going into working here, but I didn't know as much as I should have, like I do now. But I had, some experience, but he really helped with the more experience with doing this.
And he did things over the top. He saw no limits, it's like when he left us for that period of time, he was in D.C., he was in Kellyanne Conway's home. He was doing amazing things because he had the gift and the talent to do that. And when you stepped in, you are doing some creative things now, because I'll say, okay, I want to switch up the opening, and then he does it, and he says, do you like it? Of course I do. Yeah. So it's given you an opportunity to kind of follow his lead and do your own creativity.
Man, I kind of want to be, whenever he left and all that whole situation happened, I really wanted to be somewhat similar to Donovan, but I also wanted to be my own person going into doing this show and not be taking everything, so not seriously, but like everybody's so like tight, like uptight, and I want it to be like chill, and everybody has a good time doing the show. I don't really want anybody to be nervous or freak out or whatever, and it's just a chill experience, really.
And that's what I tell people. I talked to some ladies yesterday because we're talking about doing anything, and what made me think about it is a song that a lady from Ball Ground, Georgia recorded, over 50 years ago, and it's called Hard Working Woman. Yeah. And we played it up at the lake because I do this, but I'm a realtor. And I've been a realtor for 38 years. And during the time I was a realtor, I also owned a trucking company. We had a wholesale florist. We had the retail florist. We had a body shop in Alabama. And I would consider that a hard-working woman. And so when I heard the song the first time, I thought, well, she was right about me. No, she wasn't. And we owned a restaurant too. I forgot about that. So I was like an overworking, but that's how I run. That's my gear. Like you got a first, second, third, and fourth. I run in fourth gear. I'm always just flying. And so when I heard that song, I called a couple of ladies yesterday and I said, hey, I want to do a show about hardworking women. And one of them I can think of is Angelina Powell up in Blue Ridge. Have you ever been to the fudge shop where they make homemade fudge?
I've seen
oh
it.
my gosh,
yeah,
do they
I think
make
my
fudge?
parents have been there before.
Well, she's running for city council. She's also running a very successful business, and she's a grandmother, and she's a mother, and she's doing all that. Women have the ability, but we need a little backup help.
Yeah.
I could not do this without you. I don't even know how to turn on the lights in this studio. I'm serious, guys.
Yeah.
If you said, Cherie, it's dark and Tracy isn't going to be here, do you know, I know that you warm them up for a short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
That's it.
I can come in here and change the set, and I can change my mood, and I can change this. I can't do it. You know, I cannot do it. When I bought the drone and the high definition camera, and y'all wanted to teach me to do it, I don't want to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
That's not my gig. I don't want to do it.
That was a Tim idea. That was not my idea.
I don't want to do it. That's not me. But y'all love the new technology.
Yeah.
And you've gotten some new cameras now.
Yeah, we've got new cameras that are going to be being used for the football games soon, and basketball, and pretty much every sport that we do. We're also going to use them for music stuff as well, which we've got stuff coming up like October 5th at the Marble Festival. We've got both Sundays at Apple Festival. We've got the singing in McKaysville with the Barker Brothers, which will be on the 7th. And we've got the Night of Worship at the Christian Center, November 9th. So we got a lot of stuff coming up, and Tim's getting all that round up, and we'll have a lot more stuff coming y'all's way.
And that's what ETC is about. It was built, it started here with our community churches on risers singing and playing the piano. That's how ETC started, and now over 23 years later now, I think they started that before I ever came here. It's crazy that we're still the community, and I have to say a shout out to a precious lady who spoke to me. I was in line voting. Y'all know how I vote. I vote red. and she said, "Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'm one of your Facebook friends." And I said, "Oh, so nice to meet you." It's so cool to be out in the community. And I was coming out of Longhorns one day, and a lady stopped me and said, "Oh, I loved what you talked about today. Thank you for that information." It's good to know that the community is watching and interacting with us. So the football, the guys are out there on the field, and I told you this year, let's watch and see who's excelling. So last week you saw the Pickens team win their homecoming.
Yeah, they've been undefeated this whole season. We're going to have a really good game tomorrow. As we've got North Hall at Pickens, and they're both undefeated. And
wow!
So it's gonna,
wow!
And it's a region game, so it's going to be a pretty big game.
Wow!
But that'll be a good one, and then after that we'll be going to Copper Basin again, and then we'll be doing Gilmer's homecoming. Then we'll be doing, I think, either Gilmer or Fannin, and then we'll be going to Lumpkin for the first time, and then playoffs will start, and then that'll just be a whole crazy thing because we don't know who's going to make it to playoffs at all.
And it is one of those things, we are spreading out. And I mean, I've learned some of the areas that we're covering that I didn't even know we covered. And I got tickled because I've had a little problem over at Lake Lanier, and I found out that ETC has not yet crossed 400. And I'm like, get a ditch witch and dig a big line under 400 and cross over there. We need better service in so many areas. So if you live where you don't have ETC, or you just came to the area and you're not sure if you have ETC, pick up the phone and call 706-253-2271. They all sound like me. They're Southern, and they talk to you, and they'll remember you. And they will say, "Yes, Miss Martin, we can help you." That's what they do at ETC.
Yeah.
And that's what continued to build this company. And I laugh at this every time I see it. I think I flipped somebody out with this. It used to just be Ellijay Telephone Company.
Yeah.
And then I believe Community Cable was one of those it bought, and then it just kept buying and growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
But it grows, thankful to the strength of a man named David Ralston, who grew up here and who wanted us to open the mountains to everybody. And ETC did that with great internet, great high speed. They did that, and they had to do it. They had to have somebody who was on their team. And I think that's why it's important when you go to the polls, you vote for somebody who cares about your lifestyle, your community's lifestyle. And David Ralston taught me that. And I don't think I've ever missed him any more than I do right now. And I love watching Cherie and all the things that she is succeeding at with mental health, because the two of them work together as a team at the Capitol to bring awareness to mental health. And that's something that at your age, we see teens who, because of COVID, they were kind of locked away.
Yeah.
They didn't do school, they didn't do socialization, and it has messed up a generation of kids.
Yeah, it was a rough time. I remember COVID for me, work-wise, it was really, I remember I had to take off a month because they wouldn't have us at our workplace at the time. Yeah, it was a crazy time. I didn't end up getting COVID until like a year after, but it was just like, it was such a crazy thing. I honestly think COVID changed so many things
It
for
did.
like it doesn't matter who you are, it changed a lot of different things and a lot of different aspects of life and the way that things were made and done, and you know, it was a crazy time. I remember that.
It's weird to me because certain places, and I guess the way I explain this is I truly believe that God knows our time, our moment, our hour. God knows. He has it all planned. He knows. We don't know. And we make fun of, I tell the guys all the time, okay, listen, I'm going to work until I fall over dead on the set, and please just let my head hit the table and then get a good shot and we'll win a Telly Award. Because I want to work until I can't work anymore. I love what I do. But I have friends who are so much younger than me who died of COVID.
Yeah.
And some of them had the shots, some of them did not have the shots. I do not do any vaccines. I don't do any of that stuff. I just don't trust it anymore. But I trust the Lord. And I think that is a lesson that COVID taught us all. At the same time that Eddie Brackett, a precious man from Ball Ground, Georgia, who ran a sawmill all of his life, was laying in state at the funeral home. The president of Community Bank was laying in state at the funeral home. Neither one of them died of COVID, but they died during COVID, and they limited the number of visitors you could have at the funeral home.
Yeah.
That was so hard to see. John Trammell, who was the president of the bank and known and loved and so many friends, he'd been a ball coach for years. Everybody loved him. There was Eddie Brackett with one of the largest families in Ball Ground. Well, in Georgia, there was a huge family. And they had to limit numbers. That was the weirdest thing to us because they distanced us. We allowed them to distance us.
It was like that with giving, like, people having kids and stuff. Like, you couldn't have, like, people in there as they're, like, giving birth to kids and stuff. And I
Those
thought
are
that
moments
was
you can't recreate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go back and say, honey, will you go in labor again and let's try this one more time? No, she's not going to do it. She's going to say, suck it up, buttercup, you do it. But that's how much they changed our lives.
Yeah, a lot.
And it really kind of took me back, and I think it gave me more faith in God than I've ever had, because I didn't take the shot. I've had COVID. I did okay. I don't want to ever be tested for COVID again because I got nervous about how far they stick that thing up your nose and they get right to your brain. And I'm like, I'm just not interested in that anymore. I trust the Lord is going to protect us, and then one day He will call us home.
Yeah.
And the last time you were here, we were talking because it was a very emotional time as Charlie Kirk had just been assassinated.
Yeah.
He wasn't killed. It wasn't an accident. He was assassinated. Now, I lived through the assassination of Robert Kennedy, John Kennedy, and Martin Luther King. You have now lived through, I don't want to say the largest assassination in the world, but the largest funeral in the world ever.
Yeah.
277,000 phone pings happened at the arena as they lay this gentleman to rest. What do you see happening in the world today? We've got Turning Point growing to numbers that nobody ever dreamed.
I think, you know, to me, this is on the same level as Kennedy getting shot, Martin Luther getting shot. It's never, and you know, with those two, you know, you notice that those guys were Democrats or on the left-leaning side, but this is like one of the first times I've ever really seen it was on the right side.
Right.
And so, yeah, it was such a weird experience seeing people saying that he got shot, and then people were sharing the video that he got shot, and like it was just such a weird thing. And it's like nowadays you don't know what's real anymore, so it's like
AI.
You don't know what is going on. But I've seen like the videos of the shooter and stuff like that, and I've been watching all that stuff, and it's just such a big. It's now become such a big. It's about as big as when they tried to shoot Trump.
Right.
And what's crazy about that is I always mention this. That happened the day after my birthday.
Wow.
Which is weird to me.
Yeah, it is weird. Well, and when they tried, this is what's so sad. They tried to assassinate the president, but sadly, innocent victims lost their lives because of that.
Well, twice too, because they finally found the guy that did the golf
Guilty
one.
again. Yep. It is. You are living in a world a little bit like what I grew up in, where I saw the 3 assassinations, but what you saw was bigger. I don't want to say bigger and better, but it's bigger and more exposed because of television.
It's bigger in our generation, my generation. It's the biggest thing in my generation that's happened since then, I think.
And today, does it make you want to join a group on Turning Point?
I think it definitely makes you want to like do something and make a change in the world, and like all this stuff is messed up and you really want to fix it. And to me, when I first saw it, I thought, I really want people to just be people, and come together. And it's like, can we not just go back to when it was 9/11? And everybody came together and have peace with each other. And it's like, I don't know what the deal is, and I don't know why there's so much hate in the world, but there is. I'll never understand it. I really don't understand it.
And I was telling somebody the other night, we were talking about church, and I was telling them the story of why I've been to so many different churches, and I've, Methodist, Presbyterian, Baptist, Catholic, Pentecostal, super primitive Baptist. I mean, I've been to all of them. And I always found that Jesus was at all of them.
Yeah.
It wasn't that Jesus says, now don't go in that church because I might not show up. No, he was there at all of them. And so I've never understood why we discriminate people because of their religion. I wore a Star of David for many years because my grandparents on my father's side, there was Jewish heritage. And so I went in Jefferson Jewelers in downtown Atlanta and I bought myself a Star of David. I happened to, at that time, work for the most amazing boss I've ever had in my life. His name was Frank Allen Constangi. He was a senior partner at it was Constangi and Prowell Attorneys in Atlanta. Now, when I think about that, it's like it was yesterday. It was 1967. 1967,
Whoa.
Y'all. 1967. I walked in Jefferson Jewelers. I can tell you what I had on that day, and I bought myself a white gold Star of David, and I wore it for years. And then I started seeing people they were treating Jewish people badly. They were condemning them. And I thought, wow, is this what it feels like to be persecuted because of your belief?
Yeah.
And I thought, how weird is that? There's no place for that in America. And it's like he hung on the cross for all of us.
Yeah.
Every single one of us. And we all can come to him through that cross. And it's so simple. It's so simple. Have you ever heard the song Trust and Obey? There's no other way.
I think so.
Yeah. And that used to be kind of that one, and there were a couple of invitations, Just As I Am. Oh my gosh, that brings cold chills to me. You just trust and obey, and he will accept you just as you are. That's what it's about. And so as I see people who condemn Jewish people and who are mean to, oh yeah, well they believe this and they do this, and it's church, people, it's just church. And so let's get together and let's have church. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Maybe that's what's wrong with America. Let's just have church. And so today we want to talk about this gentleman. How much of his music have you played? Do you know him all by heart?
I'd have to go through every single episode, and we've been playing that because he was a guest on the show, like not
3
even
years ago.
He was on the show like 2 or 3 weeks after I started, and he's been on there ever since, and we've played his music ever since.
He's your go-to.
We play his music all the time.
All the time. And do you know why? It works for our communities that we serve. It's gospel music. It's real country music. It's the way we live in these mountains.
Yeah.
And he wrote it in the song The Mountain Life.
Yep.
It is the way we live in these mountains. And we love seeing newcomers come. But I tell everybody, you came here because you loved our lifestyle. You came here because you love that you can pick up the phone and call ETC and they sound like us. We don't outsource to foreign countries. We just don't do that. We're still a small local company doing amazing things in a lot of areas.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said about going to Lumpkin County. You
Yep.
know, that's a new thing for us.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. ETC grows and expands. And that's what it's about. And we do it in a kind and gentle way. You know, nobody goes in there and bombards, and nobody goes in there and is mean to other people. It just works. It works. And now, talk about rivalry, because you're a Gilmer Bobcat.
Yeah.
And then you go to Pickens and you're cheering for Pickens on homecoming night. So how weird is that?
I mean, when I was in high school, I wasn't as into like the rivalry stuff. I mean, I'm a sports guy, but I mean, I didn't know much about it, and I just knew how big it was when I was in school.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it doesn't matter like what team it is. Like, you want the team that's doing really good. Like that season, like Pickens was over Dawson County, to do really well, because what you can kind of project where they're going to go in the season.
Yep.
As of right now, them being 5-0 is like it's like the Fannin of last year, because Fannin was at that point last year, and I can see Pickens honestly going to playoffs if they keep up with what they're doing right now.
That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Now, can you think of any names of Pickens players that really stand out?
I know McCord Purdy is really good. I remember he was on the football team last year, and he's a really good basketball player as well. Their basketball team is great. I love their basketball, going to their basketball games. McCord Purdy is a standout for me. I think he's their main quarterback there. They got a lot of athletes on their team, and Craig Bennett is a really good coach. We've went and interviewed him several times, and he is just a nice dude. And you can tell that he really puts time into the team to really get them to where they are right now.
Right.
It's definitely something to see.
Yeah. And that's what it takes, teamwork.
Yeah.
And so maybe if the world came together as teamwork, and let's talk about what happened in Fannin County. Over 900 people showed up for a meeting of Turning Point in Fannin County. How awesome is that? So, okay, Gilmer County, let's get a chapter started here.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to take to bring everybody together. And I was listening to statistics last night, and it said that Charlie Kirk brought more young men your age to Jesus than has ever been done before.
Yeah.
Because they have to find somebody to trust. And you can trust Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question there. You might trust somebody a while and then find out you really can't trust them, but you can trust Jesus all the time. And y'all can't hear this, but we can hear it. It's raining cats and dogs right now. So we're going to take a recipe break. What'd you pull out today for recipes?
You asked for fall stuff, and I am not much of a cook, but I did my best to pick out whatever. I got some apple pie at Mercier's, and I got some teeny taco salads.
Yeah,
for y'all.
teeny taco salads are so good and so easy and such a fun thing to make with your kids or grandkids. So here we go.
I'm Cherie Martin. Tonight on Heart of the Home, I'm lucky enough to be at Mercier's Orchard. Miss Kay Kendall, my guest. We have a relationship, don't we?
We do, Cherie.
You make pies?
My crew and I make pies for you about once a month, I think.
That's right, and I sell the pies to raise money for charity. I met Kay through Habitat for Humanity, and for about 2 years now, we have been selling your famous fried pies, and I always tell everybody where they came from. I never take credit for them. And honestly, until today, I'm 55 years old, I'd never made an apple pie. I made just a apple pie. I've never done fried pie, so I'm going to try that next time. I've never made a fried pie, but I think I've sold about 2,100 of yours. So we've made some money for charity.
We would be glad to teach you how to make fried pies, but we really like you by an hour, so I'm not going to encourage you greatly to start the fried pie business.
I want to buy yours. A lot of labor, a lot of work. How many do you think you made this weekend?
Well, we have 13 varieties of fried pies. Clearly, apple is our biggest variety, and this weekend we sold over 7,000 Saturday and Sunday of apple.
Wow.
So we sell a lot of fried pies. A lot of people come to the mountains for the Apple Festival, and Mercier's is the largest apple orchard in the state.
Wow.
So we get lots of visitors, and they do seem to like our fried pies.
They do love your fried pies. Now, I really like your sweet potato pie. And that's another show and another story.
We'll do that at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes, we'll do Thanksgiving. We'll be back for sweet potato pies. Now, the pie that I made tonight had Granny Smith apples, and I know you brought us some Granny Smiths. I used 5 Granny Smith apples, a couple of pie crust, a stick of butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, cinnamon, and I put craisins in it because I just like craisins. So it's my crazy apple pie.
Well, that sounds
And we're
great.
going to try that. We're going to try that. I like craisins. There's just something about them. And honestly, this is my first apple pie. I've never made one. So
and now you know why it's easy as apple pie, right?
it is easy as apple pie. This was so simple. And I have to give little Katie Pack a little plug because I think Katie started a recipe like this, and her husband bragged on it a little bit, and I thought that sounds pretty simple, so I did it today, and it was so simple. It was so simple. And baked it about 35-40 minutes, took it out of the oven. We haven't tasted it, but I think it's going to be good. It smells wonderful.
Well, it looks wonderful, Cherie.
I think it's going to be okay. So simple, and the ingredients were something you keep at home anyway. No big deal. You don't have to run to the grocery store. And remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So keep your bag of apples in the refrigerator, right?
Right. In that plastic bag that you got them in, keep them in the refrigerator, and they'll last. A lot of apples will last into January and February.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Now, remember, this pie was made with Granny Smith's.
My favorite, Cherie. Honestly, when I make a pie at home, I always use Granny's. When we make our fried pies, we use a lot of Golden Delicious. We use Yorks and other things. But I like the tart of the Granny Smith and the sweet of the sugar. I think it's a great combination.
Yeah. All-time first. Was it good?
Wonderful.
Good. Katie, thank you so much for sharing your recipe. Kay, thank you for opening your kitchen. And thank you so much for the money we've made with Habitat, because we truly appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you, and thanks for having us
You're welcome.
on your show.
Quick, simple recipes that anybody can do. I made my first apple pie. Hi, I'm Cherie Martin. Tonight, you see this smile on my face? It's because I'm in Pigeon Forge with my big to-do guest, Melton Campbell. Melton sings baritone with the Inspirations, and has been singing how many years? 10?
Eight? About 7, 8 years.
7, 8 years, and we've been here a couple of years to see you. We've traveled together a lot, and you are a big to-do to me.
Well, you're a big to-do with your cooking show with me.
I love cooking, and you told me you like hot stuff.
I love hot stuff.
Hot stuff. So we're going to try a recipe tonight that my buddy Lucy Van Doren created. And it's a little bit hot, and you can make it a little bit hotter. A little bit like, yeah, we're going to spice it up. So Melton and I are going to do this simple recipe. The ingredients for the T90 taco salad are 1 pound of ground beef browned. To that you add a pack of taco seasoning, a can of refried beans, and ½ a cup of salsa. And if you like hot, use the hot salsa. If you like medium, use the medium. Mini phyllo shells. And your garnish would be tomatoes, tiny cherry tomatoes, and green onions, and sour cream, and cheese. We are browning our ground beef and adding our taco seasoning mix. Then we will add our salsa and our refried beans. We'll simmer this for a short time and then fill our shells. Melton, do me a favor, help me fill this pan. You know, we figured these guys that sing with you can sing about 10 songs a night and eat about 80 of these a night. What do you think?
I definitely could. I know Matt could eat 80
I think Matt could eat a few of these.
Take a bunch of these to fill him up.
I think so. Okay, Melton, you're going to have to earn your keep today. I think you'll earn your keep when you sing tonight. But
you reckon?
Yes, son, you will.
This is like working with chopsticks here.
Yes, it is.
I may be putting too much of them in
No,
there.
I think that's going to be good.
Is there a certain amount you're supposed
Mama
to put
Lucy
in these?
says they're a little bit messy, and the cheese will overflow a little bit. That's why we lined our pan with aluminum foil. But I think it's going to be cool. And this is something, now you said you and Christy both like hot stuff and like spicy stuff. This is one of those things. You either like spicy or you don't, but y'all both told me you did. And I think she'd like this. This would be a good thing for a kid's birthday party too, wouldn't it?
Excellent, excellent.
Does Levi like hot, spicy stuff?
Oh, yeah. Everybody, I think all my kids like
I think Levi's a little bit of a daredevil like his daddy. I think I'm going to get Levi into go-kart racing. What do you think?
Oh, my goodness. I don't know.
I think we're going to try it. Milton, that looks great. You've done a good job. I may hire you.
All right.
When you're not singing, you can be cooking. And this is shredded cheese that we're adding. And then we're going to brown these for a short time, and then you're going to help me garnish them. And depending on who you're singing next to, how much green onion you're going to eat today.
I'll eat a lot of. The other night we had some and I ate a lot of garlic.
Bad boy.
He was ready to run me off the stage.
To shoot you, yeah. Okay, Milton, we're going to put those in the oven at 360 for about 10 minutes. And when they come out hot and bubbly, we'll garnish them and we'll enjoy those things.
It'll be delicious.
Sounds good. Well, Milton, while the T90 taco salads were cooking, you did a good job slicing the tomatoes for us. Thank you. We're going to garnish a few, and we've got a little buddy, Levi, who showed up, and he's promised he likes all the ingredients in this. So we're going to let you're going to do these, garnish, and we're going to let Levi sample them for us. Boy, they smell good. I think my family would probably like a little bit more cheese on them, so next batch, I think I'll put more cheese. This recipe makes approximately 60, and that's enough to feed how many growing boys?
Maybe about 10.
About 10 growing boys. So you want like onions? Dad says you like onions.
Some onions?
Yeah. A little bit of tomato. And Daddy did a good job slicing these tomatoes. Now, Levi, you are officially our taster. Grab you one, son, and taste that thing. Ooh, sounds good. Good, good. Boy, this has been a fun Heart of the Home. Take care. Bye-bye. Don't tell them that I just said I could eat that whole panful of those things right now. Oh gosh, they're so good. They're so good. And they're so easy and they're fun, and it's fun to make with your kids. So try them. And if your kids don't like certain things, you don't have to put the green onions on it, but that kind of gives it a kick, and I like those. So now, do you watch the things I cook, and do you ever go home and try to cook any of it?
I am not a cook. I'll tell you that right now. My brother is, but pizza is fine with me.
Yeah,
Frozen pizza is fine with me. I don't know anything else other than that.
And I told you, in honor of you, we went to KFC and we bought the biggest bucket of chicken we could buy, and it lasted Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Finished it. I actually finished the last piece on Tuesday. So KFC in Blairsville, thank you very much for being there and being open. You know, it's weird. There was a KFC here in Ellijay. There was one in Jasper.
Yep.
There was one in Blue Ridge. They all three closed. And the closest one now is Blairsville, but it's been remodeled.
Well, there's one in Chatsworth.
Oh, is there?
Yeah,
okay.
If you go
he knows the KFC.
I do know where they are. No, it's like 30 minutes from my house. I could drive over there. But yeah, Blairsville, there's the one in Blairsville and the one in Chatsworth. But yeah, it's
crazy.
I wish we had one, because if we did, I'd eat there all the time.
I know. And honestly, it was like slaw and green beans and the potatoes. And you know they're instant potatoes, but you don't care. It's KFC, you know. And do you know the story about Harlan Sanders and how he ran for Senate and he lost by about 68 votes? And he started making chicken after that.
Yeah, I knew that he was really...
He was an older gentleman.
Yeah, he was in his old age when he started it.
Yeah, so it's not too late for me to create something that everybody would eat.
I have a picture arm in arm with a statue of him.
Oh, that's funny.
You know...
Well, that's funny. We do love our KFC. So, okay, tell folks you're going to be at the ball games. You're going to be at the Marble Festival, and I can tell you I was at the first Marble Festival ever, and they are now is it 43 years? I believe it's 43 years.
I think so, and it's going to be at the park in front of the old school.
Yeah. It's crazy because it has been so successful, and it brings in money to Pickens County, but it also brings in money to other counties because people come up from Atlanta. They might stop in Ball Ground and buy gas. They might run in a convenience store and spend some money. All the festivals bring in money to every area that we serve. So when we whine a little bit and everybody's complaining about the traffic, the Apple Festival has been going on for so many years. There's no telling how much Gilmer County has benefited from that Apple Festival.
There's no telling.
So when people complain and whine and you see this apple, people come up here because of these. This isn't real, y'all. If it was real, it would already rotted by now. But people come because they love to go apple picking. They love to get those apple pies. We've got so many apple orchards and groves, and we also have now all of the winery, what do they call those? Vineyards up here.
Vineyards, yeah.
So many vineyards. The soil in Gilmer County is perfect for growing stuff. So if you're into any of that,
And you know what I love about RNA? They have seasonal stuff, and they're open every day of the year except Christmas. Did you know that? They're open on Thanksgiving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're even open on Thanksgiving. So if you're up in the area, if you're visiting friends and you say, oh, I should have brought something, you can run by RNA and you can buy cakes and pies and all kinds of things to take. And if you're up here visiting and you're going back to the city, get yourself some apples and put them in gift bags and give them to your friends.
If you were talking about how so many people from different places come to the festivals and stuff. Last year, this is kind of what put it in perspective to me. Last year, WWE champion Cody Rhodes, who's from Georgia, went to RNA.
Wow.
I saw that, and I was like, that just kind of tells you, you know, where it's like everyone knows about it in the state of Georgia, and it's like anyone can be there at any time, and I thought that was pretty neat.
That is pretty cool. And people come because they hear good news. They hear good news about these mountains, and you know where you can hear a lot of good news? You can listen to this CD. And today we're going to leave you with one of the original songs that Dwight wrote. And you know, I talk about it often. Jesus is going to call. He's going to call for each of us. And we're going to go home to be with him, or we're not, depending on how we choose to live. But this CD says it all about a very special man. And he's funny as the dickens, y'all. He's crazy. He's crazy. We have seen his crazy antics. Yeah. And we have so many bloopers of Dwight. So the day that Jesus calls him home, are we going to play bloopers? Probably.
Probably, because he won't know.
Probably he won't
know at all.
He won't know. But the music, the mountains, we say welcome. Welcome. Come and visit these mountains. Come and get to know the communities that we serve, from Ball Ground to Turtletown, now over to Dahlonega, now up toward Dawson County, over to Waleska, almost into Cartersville. I mean, it's crazy how ETC is growing. And we know that because we get out in the community and people talk to us. And that's really cool. If you don't have our services and you've just come to the area, pick up the phone and call 706-253-2271 and say, hey, I just moved. What can you give me, and how much is it, and how available are you? So it's local folks doing good things and serving each other. Serving each other. And I don't know if you knew about it, but when Williams had their 70th anniversary at the tire store, they had all kinds of goodies out there. And I'm sitting in Ball Ground, and I looked, and I said, I should have stopped by before I left Gilmer County today. They had all kinds of cool stuff.
That's funny.
But it's local businesses get to tell you about themselves. So if you'd like to do a commercial on ETC, pick up the phone and call us. And let's get your message out there, because there's so many great people who choose to come to our communities and open a store, open a business, provide a service, and the best way to get the word out is ETC.
We're also looking for sponsorships for our music events as well. So if y'all would want, there will be a commercial that'll be coming out on the channel at some point, and y'all will get to learn all more about that and who to call and everything. So we're looking for sponsorships for those events as well.
Yeah. And you have seen our local Dairy Queen commercial that was shot. Did you shoot it?
I think it was Tim and Cole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, when they did that, every time I see them getting that hamburger, I want to run and bite into a hamburger myself. But you've got a choice. I could have a hamburger, or I could have a Sherry Martin Blizzard. Of course I'm going to choose a Sherry Martin Blizzard.
I recently just tried a Blizzard.
Did they do it right?
I always get the Oreo Blizzard.
Okay,
so,
yeah, there's something about a Blizzard, it just makes you smile. So the hamburger's great, but that Blizzard makes you smile. So thank you for being with me today, and thank you for doing what you do, because when they show up, they keep their positive attitude, they act professional, they do what they're supposed to do. They are trained here to be the face of ETC in your community. So when you see the guys out, tell them hello, tell them thank you. And there's so many programs that we offer now in retro that you're posting. That will show your grandparents, your parents, maybe your aunt and uncle who are no longer here. It's amazing the archives that we have.
We got a lot.
We've got a lot. We've got a lot. So sit back and watch ETC. And it's really, truly still neighbors serving neighbors. Yeah. Well, we're going to leave you now with one of our neighbors as he sings a song he wrote about his mama.
just called to find one home. I gave my mom a temporary farewell today. I held her hand and watched her fade away. Out among the angels to heaven's peaceful shore, to be with our sweet Jesus and live forevermore. Mommy went the way she always wanted to go, from here to there in just a moment's glow. She didn't have to suffer, she just drifted off to sleep into the arms of Jesus, forevermore to keep. And I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight. They're gathered in join hand in hand. I know the angels are filled with delight, 'cause they've got my little mommy in the band. If there's someone with trouble singing sweet harmony, she'll help them on the part just the way she used to me. And if someone needs a friend just to sit and talk with them, she'll answer every call, even if it's 3 a.m. Yes, I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight. They're gathered in on heaven's shining shore. I know the angels are filled with delight, and Mom won't be alone anymore. I'll bet they're singing in heaven tonight, 'cause Jesus just called to find one home. Yeah, Jesus sure called